Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. Now, Deku, he got medical supplies from a hospital, and Chizuki failed to save Nedre whenever she was wounded in the chest by a bullet wound. Now, Deku, he's beginning to manifest strange abilities. He manifested Black Whip and was able to use it to try and get the advantage. He killed a relentless zombie with it. He saved Nedre with it. And then there was the fact he used it to hurt somebody. Now, Deku also bit somebody in the hospital, yet they were still alive while their throat was spewing blood. And this was intriguing. He brought them back to UA. Somebody, however, was watching him the whole time, and they were still going on the orders they had. Do not engage. Wait for the right moment. And this, it does have them very intrigued. But Izuku, he was sick and tired of watching his loved ones die. But Nedre, she is one of the closest people to him in this fucked up world. And he tried something, and it worked. Hours later, she jumped up alive. She felt strange. She felt weird, woozy, disoriented, but she still felt like herself. She was human? That part she didn't understand, but Deku explained it to her. She's something in between, just like how he is. And Chizuki, he's gonna need to take a closer look to confirm this. Because after he went through his own medical exam, the man posed a theory. Deku is the bridge between life and death, the thing that exists in between. And that itself is an anomaly. Now then, we do currently have the next morning. Nejire, she was still trying to understand a lot of things, figure them all out, but just sitting here and talking and trying to get comfortable in her new body. The same body? It's a little weird. She can feel her senses begin to heighten, sharpen. And this, it's going to take some getting used to. She started to hear a sound. It was strange, but then it got louder and louder and louder. And then she realized what she was hearing was Deku's heartbeat. Before she also started to hear Mei and Chizuki's heartbeats inside the building. Now, Deku, he does currently sit there, thinking about a lot. Nejire, currently, with her hands on her knees, as she has herself leaned up against a wall. Her, with her eyes closed, and trying to focus. Make herself comfortable. Make herself aware of a lot. And Deku, he does a turn, bring his hand up and grabbing onto Nejire's. Currently, her goes on, fall to the right and begin to snore. And Deku, he can somewhat understand it. Out for a few hours while she was unconscious, changing, it had a toll on her body. Though she is stepping into the more superhuman areas, that's a whole thing. I'll have to talk to Chizuki about cataloging this. Though the guests they do have, the information Chizuki got from them was good. He doesn't trust them. He bit them, turned them. But having them run around as something he created, he won't allow. He's not going to allow that evil to exist. But he doesn't know if it was the right call. And we do currently have Chizuki, who does have said person cut open and examining a lot about the interior of this thing. I mean, he's learning so much right now, and it has him intrigued, curious. I mean, he's stepping into a new realm of science. If he had this data months ago, he could have potentially had more data to work with, something else. But this just opens up more avenues. Mina Ashido, the pink one. If he were to. No, no. She's someone that Deku knows. Possibly. If he could just get some subjects, see how they work in a prolonged state of infection, examine them. Okay. He can talk about having exams with Mina and update her condition. Deku exposed a human corpse and a smart zombie to his blood. It's highly likely, if his conclusion is correct. He wanted to be left alone in the room, but then he heard voices earlier. May is still upstairs, messing with a few things in her workshop, and it's been quiet for some time. He's assuming she fell asleep. Okay. So, that does raise more questions. Find something? You know, you really shouldn't do that. Shizuki gonna turn, and Deku can tell the man's on edge. His heartbeat sharpened. He slightly flinched. If you weren't paying attention, you could have missed it. And the man, he has a turn, looking directly at Deku, asking exactly if he's here for something. I'm fairly certain it's around this time. Time? It's a lot to explain. Listen, I don't want I don't know how to explain it. Around this time of the day, I get this strange feeling. I don't know. I've seen it before in my dreams. You don't need to explain this to me. It doesn't seem pertinent to my data. Chizuki, I'm manifesting quirks. Are you now? Yes. For a while I felt something strange. Like the hairs on the back of my neck. They just stand on end. I don't know what it is. I think my power's reacting. Doing something. Deku walking over and sitting down. And the man does a turn back to the corpse sitting on his table, beginning to do a lot more, taking samples from the organs and trying to see what he can do with this. Currently going to express that if he is beginning to manifest quirks, then he should be aware. In his unique state, it's quite possible that he does retain control. However, that does open up a lot more questions then. And I'm going to turn, looking at Deku, expressing about how quark singularity was a theory about quarks going past the human body's natural limit. Though, after much of the data he has seen, and much speculation, a lot of people have theorized that quark singularity was a myth. However, the wall was believed to be hit. But clearly, there is some truth to that. Something they didn't predict? What do you mean? It's hard to explain, and I'm going to give you the short version. But, here it goes. From what I can tell, the human body has its own natural limit. Creatures evolve and change over time. However, that process can be very delicate. You've seen and heard stories of evolution for humans, right? From primitive primates to human, Homo sapien and the bridges in between. It's quite possible this could be something else. Are you serious? Yes. I don't want to say it is, but there are people who've given out theories that are outlandish, crazy, highly illogical. I'd have to gain access back to the internet and see what's still up. But if I can find the documents and data on it, it could help me understand this more. I mean, I don't want to say that they were correct, but the theories aren't exactly pointing in the wrong way now that I've seen evidence of them. Really? Yes, but the theory talked about evolution, not some sort of mutagenic property virus. Mutagen? Yes. As far as I can tell, the zombie virus changes people. I mean, I still have inconclusive data, but it's not a mutagen. Hmm? Shizuki looking directly at Deku, since he does seem to have some insight on this. And how would you know this? Because these things didn't pop up out of nowhere. There's no cases of people being turned into them, is there? Hmm. Now that you mention it, in my control test I didn't see anything. However, those were different. Exposure levels were minimal at best. I don't even want to know what you did. Listen, all I know is I've seen those things. The further in the city you go, the more you see. The ones that make their way out are dangerous. The pit has something to do with them. Now that I think about it, that doesn't. Him bringing his hand up to his head, and he does stare at him. However, Deku, he does go to have his eyes begin to somewhat dilate before there is what he does see. Currently, him looking through someone else's eyes, seeing things from somewhere else. And there currently is where the eyes are looking around. Before he does, go to watch a set of claws come onto the ground and then go to fully stand up. Before the creature does a look around, it trying to gain a bit of a sense for what's happening. Before there is where someone does come walking directly through the wall. And Deku, he has a turn back, his eyes snapping to reality as Shizuki does a turn, jumping up and grabbing his weapon. Before Mirio, he has a stand there and Shizuki does a turn, bringing his hand up and blasting out his gun before Mirio does it go intangible again. Him going to have the bullet smash past him as he's express, turning directly to the doctor. That really won't work. And Deku, here's a turn, looking directly at Mirio, telling him he really shouldn't be here. Maybe not. However, I'm here to talk to you. I've told you the last few times, Mirio, no. Stay away from here. Yue's mine. It's not for you. Really. I came to this school before you did. That means I have a right to the place. Everybody has a right to it. Don't you understand? Him gonna turn, and looking at the door, which does, gonna burst open as there actually is Nidre, who does just won't stand there, looking into the room and seeing the doctor, a corpse on the table, and then two other people. Deku. Him sitting there with white hair and the goggles still covering his eyes, and then looking at somebody who does have a cloak covering their body. However, their face is unmistakable. But there's one problem with it. The smile does remain, but the light behind those eyes, it's gone. Mirio? Hi, Nedre. Good to see you again. Where have you been? And oh God, how? What? How? Deku turning, expressing. He told her before, Mirio is a zombie. He likes to pop in from time to time, and he had a feeling today was going to be one of those days. So why exactly is he here? He needs to leave. Deku standing up and going to turn and walk towards Nedre. Mirio stepping forwards and through the table, beginning to express. He's here for a few reasons. Though he's not here to fight, if that's what he's worried about. Currently, Deku turning back around and standing in front of Nedre, as she just won't stand there concerned. Because this is weird. She's seeing an old friend of hers, someone she does care about, someone she doesn't know, and he's not himself anymore. And Deku, he does show his guards up, completely and totally. Though Mirio, he does stand there, turning to Nedre and asking how exactly Tamaki is doing. Have you ever got over that one little problem of his? Huh? You know the one. It's been a while. Has he gotten better? More social? he, he's still Tamaki. A little bit better. What happened to you? Sir Night-Eye. He helped me. Listen, I know what you're planning to do. Sir has seen it. Do you really think it's a good idea? Oh, what's he talking about, Izuku? You've already had the thought cross your mind. I don't know everything you want to do, but I do know this. You want to do two things. You want to set off that bomb. We've told you before it's a bad idea. And then you want to try to find him. That's more dangerous. Sir Night-Eye avoids him. You can't talk to that beast. It's uncontrollable. Deku's staring at Mirio. And Nedre is looking at the situation. Beast? Bomb? The bomb from before. That does make sense. But then, what's going on here? Oh, what can they do? Mirio, I'm going to set off the bomb. You really shouldn't. If you do, you're going to release things that you don't want out there. Let's put it this way. The moment you set that thing off, you're opening up hell. Things will come flooding out. I don't... Mirio brings his hand up to his head. Before his eyes, they do to dilate. And he does kind of stare back up, and his face is a drop. You really don't want to do that. Deku, staring on. And Nedre looks on confused. Mirio stepping forwards, expressing. The moment he tries to take it out, it will simply resurface. It will send hell to his doorstep. And it will make sure this little anomaly will be consumed. And Mirio doesn't bring his hand up. And Deku, he does feel something strange. Right now, him going to pull his hand back as he does, going to send Nidre flying backwards back into the hallway. Currently, going to throw his right fist forwards as they're actually ready to try to think about Black Whip. The ability to create a spike, claws, anything. If he can use it on Mirio, he can take him down. Mirio is not the one in control now. He's not the one he's speaking to. However, Mirio, he does going to simply do one thing. He has a turn intangible as he goes to throw his fist out forwards and activate an ability. And we do currently have over at the manor. Bakugo Koski this morning was going over quite a lot of information. People, they were going dark. They've already had to deal with one group not being able to be reached, and another disappearing entirely. It's been happening slowly but steadily. There's something out there. Someone? I mean, they're aware that some of this stuff could be crazies. They found the evidence before. The sites. They're also aware that some of it has been zombie activity. Though this most recent find, what's this make now? 3 small groups and a medium-sized one? They have heard other things, though. I mean, the larger groups, they're safer. More settlements are getting bigger. And that, it's not good. Humanity has grouped together, but those groups are still at odds. The manor, it's a decision he'd be worried about. Their group is tiny. Not many of them left. With Todoroki and, well, Momo out. That's something that he doesn't like. They're still out at the bunker, and they're supposed to be returning soon. Though, he does have an idea. People from underground. If he does open the doors to them, they get access to the bunker's resources. They could grow more crops here. Do more. I mean, the amount of things they'd have down there. The supplies. He's gotten some messages back. But still, the information. Work with the bunker and take out the people at the dam. I mean, they've had the most communications with the heroes. So if they do go that route, it could be an option. But there's also the idea that opening the doors would bring people that should not be here. Possibly a military spy, something like that. Okay. It's something. But inviting people to their settlement. The decision would be bad. Good. Thoroughly check for signs of infection. Then go through the process and find out what they're good at, what they could be used for. Give them a home, a warm bed, and water. Something worth fighting for. Families? Well, it'd be nice to have more kids around for Eri. She's alone here. In the outside world, it's too harsh right now for children to exist in it. Nature does have a point. Though, then they have to deal with the crazies. The zombies. If they do take back the dam, and they do this without it being damaged, this requires them to then work with what remains of the heroes. It's all messing them up. The old system fell. Will they try to reestablish the old system, or try to make a new one? Change, adapt, do something. This does require much to think about. This going through Baku's mind. Currently, him writing a few things down and trying to go over it all in his mind. Being the leader does not seem easy. Deku made hard calls, and he's trying to make calls that are supposed to be easier. He's supposed to be the leader. Act like it. Step up. Be in charge. It's what he wanted for a while. But then having to make some decisions. Yeah. That showed him up a little bit. Nedre's right. He hates to admit it. Currently, him going to turn, opening up his desk and going to pull out a bottle. Going to also pull out a glass as he does think for a minute. Before he does, he's going to open the bottle and begin to drink from it. Currently going to sit there and go over this information again, trying to find an alternative outcome. Take in refugees from other camps, build themselves up as a stronger force, ally themselves with the heroes, get the robots from UA, and then a Hail Mary, I guess. They definitely lose people. But there's also the problem of putting the heroes in charge of the power. Huh. Now that's something. Currently, him receiving a transmission. Currently, turning and picking up the sat phone he does have sitting on his desk. Going to answer it and hearing Stain on the other end. Beginning to report in. Looking around the gruesome scene he does have here. And trying to express about how he doesn't believe that these people encountered human activity. However, there's another problem, since he felt the ground shake about 5 minutes ago. In it wasn't a normal earthquake. He saw zombies flying around, and he himself was almost caught out in the open. Cars were sent flying. Did he feel it over there? No. What happened? Hell, I'd say a bomb went off, but I don't even think it had that much force. Stain walking over and looking at the direction of the wind, talking about it. He's gonna check it out, though he thinks it comes from that school on the hill. UA? Do not engage. What do you mean? You're not the boss of me, kid. Listen, there's a smart zombie there. Don't engage. What do you know? It's Deku. Seriously? How? I don't know. And we do cut back to Deku, who, when he threw out that punch, One for All activated, and the entire wall behind Mirio was blown open. Shizuki felt the ground shake. Mei, she felt her entire office, quote unquote, shake. And the wall, it exploded, along with the fact that air dissipated and flew down the hill. A lot of it going to begin to blow into the city and rip up a lot of things with some force. And Deku, he has a stand there. Mirio right in front of his fist, expressing about exactly how Deku really should be more careful, since that could have caused way more damage if he meant to try to kill him. However, Izuku, he doesn't stand there. Him pulling back his arm and feeling the heat coming off of it. It's weird. The strange smell and, well, everything. Him turning. As right now, Chizuki, he does stand there and, well, he's alarmed. A lot of things in his lab got blown back, along with himself. He just got shock on his face. And this, it does have him more concerned. A monster. That boy's a monster. And this confirms it. it proves one theory he knows. That for a fact. However, the three creatures in front of him, only two of them he has an understanding of. Yet one of them, he doesn't. So what exactly does that mean? And Mario, he has to turn away. Before he does, express, walking out into the open sunlight, about how if Deku does reconsider his options, then understand it's going to be better for him to join them. Though, going to turn, talking about how some people, they have decided to not be so nice anymore. They've heard about the rest of the heroes coming out to play finally. And well, they've decided to join the fun. Though he'll warn them of this. Don't go close to the heart. Yes, Deku had a little trip near it. Though, let's put it this way. There are things there not worth getting, and places a lot of them might like to avoid. So, he'll keep it at that. Though it was nice to see you again, Nejire. Give Tamaki my best. Currently, him gonna leap up into the air as he does go flying into the distance. Her watching him smash down on the ground nearby and then go to turn, running as he's like trying to build up some speed to relaunch himself. And this does alarm her. Her walking up and turning her head, looking at Deku, who does still look down at his fist. It smoking. And it does worry him a bit. Before he does a turn, the obvious shock on his face apparent, since his arm, it didn't break. I mean, he felt this weird sensation, but he thought that was the other ability. That's another quirk. His original? Okay. So that's some... Huh? Him turning his head. And this is where Nejire does should ask, oh, what is it? I thought I heard something. Turning and walking away. Currently, her trying to follow him as he's being to walk the halls of UA, looking around and trying to find it. He knows. Okay. Oh, where did that sound come from? Oh, what was that? That was new. A voice? A heartbeat? No. That's not right. Though, familiar? Maybe. Him turning and walking into Class 1A. Before he does, go see somebody sitting on the teacher's desk. Currently them holding up their hand and talking about it. You know, it's really hard to communicate with him, especially like this now. Huh? Who are you? Deku reaching his hand up as if he's going to grab a gun or a knife. However, nothing's there. Nejire rounding the corner and looking at Deku. Before she does it, a turn and look at who he's trying to talk to. There's nothing there. And Izuku, he does ask what they want. Though she does get to feel something strange. Her walking up and bring her hand out, reaching for Deku's, grabbing onto it as it's a turn, looking back to this person before he used to look at Nejire, asking her if she can see them. No, I can't. The person turning and expressing about how they've seen a lot of information about this one. Gotta say though, quite interesting. The kid wants to go to war, right? Who are you? I'm one of the users of One for All. Didn't have a lot of time to chat. The other others wanted to talk to you. You could stomach a lot of the things he did. Fact is, you're stabilizing. We have to talk to you now. We get to. Not sure how long this might last. Although, I've got to say, world definitely went to hell. So, let's see. Information. You're gonna get our quirks. Though, something is wrong here. I feel it. Don't you? No, not really. Hmm. Might take some time. Though there's a few strange things here. Some things I don't understand. One for All sort of reached its singularity point. The quirk's too powerful. But it's still working. That is sort of frightening. You're saying you're the last user, kid. Though I guess you might live forever. Who knows? Then again, there's a few things you've got to know. And I guess we'll be the ones to tell you. Though, them bring their hand up. Currently, them gonna fade into a fog as Deku watches them disappear. This surprising him. Them, to him, scattering a bit into the wind. Nedre still there holding his hand, asking exactly if there's anything else wrong. Hmm? No. No, it's just the visions are back. Really? Yeah. Though I think they might be a bit more helpful this time around. Not really too sure. It's a little concerning, I guess. This going through his mind. And we do currently have Sir Night-Eye. Sir Night-Eye, he does currently sit there, thinking about exactly what they have expressed to Izuku, what they have seen. The future has a lot in store for them. However, looking into the future with his ability, he can see it. Somebody sits atop the red tower. They sit there, powerful, strong, the one who will rule all, the one who will be leading them into the new age. It's interesting. He himself does not see him in that position. He'd like to be their right-hand man, work with them, understand how this world has changed. It will take time for it to properly heal, time for it to fix itself. However, that does have him worried. However, he has a turn, looking at many of the others who do have themselves gathered here, talking about it. They don't like it, though they are quite happy to be getting out and about. I understand. Your concerns are warranted. However, if you are going to be, let's just say, expanding, be aware. You need to know. If we do call on you, you should come running. Don't expect that. We all have our own little places to be. We like them. We stick with them. Aren't we agreed on that? Yes, we are. However, your little traps and lures, they're concerning. Everybody wants something. Yes, they do. And if they can't get it, Well, give them something else. I'm well aware of that. But you, of all people, I'm surprised. What about your little friend? He'll come around soon. I'm sure he will. Though I could pay him a visit myself. Quite. Listen, once everything is in place, I want us all to move. I'd like to discuss many things with him. Night holding up a vial, wondering if this might fix their problem. If this could be the solution to his issue. Deku is not fully complete. The process is only halfway. But if they can complete it themselves, rebirth him, he could potentially be the creature, no, the king they're looking for. He will lead them into the new age. And the old world, they'll rebuild, just in a different way. Life can go on, life can move on. They will have very little need for food, very little need for anything. They will truly rule the earth, and it will prosper. It will heal. It will go back to the animals, in the best way of putting it. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.